Welcome to another episode of the Back Catalogue Spookcast. This is the Spookcast where we get spooky. And by we, I mean me, Apple, my co-host / co-founder Vincent. We dive into the streaming services and we tell you what the spookiest movies of October are. We are here. It's still Spooktober, man. Spooktober is nearly at its end, though.
Yeah, can we get another one out? Nah, because it's the first. Next Wednesday's the first.
Next Wednesday is the first.
It's the first.
We're into that, what's that thing where they eat heaps of turkeys?
Movember.
We're into that Movember sort of content. So we're strictly doing like movies with celebrities with a moustache.
We're doing Henry Cavill in the Mission Impossible movie. We're doing Henry Cavill in Superman, in what's the name? Justice League or whatever.
Justice League. Now, does he have a moustache in the Zack Snyder one? Because we'll do the Zack Snyder one again.
No, he doesn't have the moustache in the Zack Snyder. I'm also not sitting through 3 hours of that. That was a movie that I watched once, and
we did that as the experience, and that's it for it.
That's right.
You know, and we might go back and we might say, hey, this part was good, but I ain't watching it.
No,
I ain't watching it. And apologies for like that experience. I just ate a cookie and a banana, and we're here, Vincent. We are getting into 1975's very own Picnic at Hanging Rock.
Arguably the most horrific horror movie ever.
So
Australian horror movie by some dude on the internet.
That's exactly right. We scoured the internet to find Australia's very own horror movies. And number one on a couple of lists, Vincent, was Picnic at Hanging Rock.
And look, I know heads don't get that far into these podcasts. I'll tell you right now, this is not horror.
I mean, it ain't far from it, but it ain't it.
It's far. It's far.
It ain't it. It's more mystery.
Yeah. You
know, you play a game of Cluedo, there might be the Picnic at Hanging Rock version of it.
I mean, it's probably horror because one dude at the screening apparently was, through his like, whatever they had in the 70s, like and just corn kernels, not even popcorn then, because they
didn't have heating apparatus.
They didn't have the heating apparatus. Just throw corn kernels at the screen and be like, Peter Weir, how could you do this to me?
I mean, and Peter Weir did it. And Peter Weir did a couple of other things, man. Peter Weir did Truman's very own.
Truman Show.
Yeah, so, Peter Weir's done movies. He's done The Way Back. He's done The Truman Show. He's done Master and Commander, where there's a man on a boat and apparently everyone in the cinemas got seasick. They got seasick in the cinemas.
Bro, they thought on a boat?
They thought they were in the boat. Now, let's get into Picnic at Hanging Rock because I'm not staying here for long. Not at this house or this studio, but at this podcast.
Yeah.
The one where we. Now, this got the 7.4 out of 10 on the IMDb. It's got the 91% on the Rotten Tomatoes. It's got a 3.8 out of 5 on Letterboxd.
3 out of 5?
We are here. 3 out of 5. 3.8. Sorry. 3.8 out of 5.
See, that's dumb idiot things. Man.
Now, as we said, this was directed by Peter Weir, and it had a box office of 5.12 Australian dollars. We are here.
5.12 Australian dollars.
And that's money, man.
And because if you're paying card, that's 5.12. But if you're paying cash, that's $5.10.
100%.
Like you just made 2 cents.
And that's look, I'm just getting into this and then we'll get out of it,
Because that's why I carry cash around me, just to game the system.
100%.
I see when it's rounding up, I'm paying cash.
Well, when the grid goes down, much like Picnic at Hanging Rock things where you go into potentially warp holes or portals or places to another dimension, the grid might go down. You might only need cash. You might only have to use cash.
Yeah. So
it's good to have at least $5 on you. Keep a $5 on you.
Maybe even $5.10, so you can pay for this movie,
and you get that profit.
Yeah.
Appleyard College, a girls' private school, plans a summer picnic to Hanging Rock in Victoria. However, things turn bad when a few students and a teacher go missing at the picnic. And we're
missing
here.
At the picnic. They should have called it Missing at the Picnic.
Bro, missing at the picnic, parentheses, at Hanging Rock. So, look.
Let me tell the listener and the viewer right now, stay tuned because we're going to tell you exactly what this movie means. Because this is a movie that you watch it, and if you watch the whole movie, like
yes.
I did, I'm not sure if you watched the whole movie or not.
No, it was pretty close.
It was pretty close. And, that's an A for effort.
That's an A for effort.
And there's a lot of questions in this movie. We have the answers. So stay tuned. There'll be no time codes because you just have to listen to this.
And there's no time to die here unless you're going on a picnic at Hanging Rock. And you may die.
You may die.
But unless you're that lady who was she couldn't get up the hill.
No one dies in this movie.
Well, no one dies
okay.
in this movie,
No,
but
yeah,
you know,
there
there's
Well, you haven't watched the end, so yes,
there's people that die in this movie. Like I'm talking about a hanging rock. I'm not talking about a lady that leaps to her own.
Oh, so you did watch most of the movie,
brother? I'm telling you, man.
Okay.
I'm not here for fun and games. I'm here for the facts.
Because we make money here.
We're fact checkers here.
We're fact checkers.
All right, so I'm here for facts only. Now, here's what I want to say. And this, and I don't know if we're getting PC, we're getting too PC, we're going too far out to the right, we're going too far out to the left. We might be going so far out somewhere. You put a couple ethnic people in this space, no one dying. I mean,
because number one, you go to a picnic, there's no food at the picnic.
No food at the picnic,
You know
right?
what I mean?
They got a horse and carriage, they ain't got no food at the picnic.
They got no food at the picnic. You put some ethnic folk in there. There's food at the picnic. That's all the picnic. That's it. And you're not moving from there. You're not going exploring because that's it.
You have a bunch of ethnic ladies there. They ain't going hiking up that hill because they know, guess what? I'm here for the food. I have come to this place for the picnic at Hanging Rock, not for the hiking at Hanging Rock. I've come here specifically to eat this food, to get along with my peers, to have a yarn with my peers. Because that's what you do in ethnic spaces. You be talking. And instead, we get into a space where, and I mean, look, shout out to all the actors in this movie. And one thing that I really loved about this movie was that it just seemed like at least the main, I can't remember her name specifically, but I'll get it up
The
now.
actress or the character?
Miranda is the character's name. Anne-Louise Lambert or Lambert. She was the blonde lady who was sort of at the helm of going on the hike at Hanging Rock. She was just like, you could tell she knew something that we didn't. You could tell, and we get the initial hint from when she tells her potential lover, potential best friend,
Her potential just like lady that's around.
Potential lady that's around in that space. She tells her, this is the last time I'm going to see you. Like this, let's say goodbye. This is the last time I'm going to see you. And then she goes to picnic at Hanging Rock and she's just got this energy, this aura about her that made me think like, is she in on this? And that's what I really liked about this movie, right? Yeah. We get past that part, right? She goes up to Hanging Rock, she gets lost, right? And I didn't like any of this movie after that.
Yeah, we've done this. We've been friends for too long for me not to know exactly where that was going. But what about our boy Michael? You know, Michael and his Australian mate.
I love Bullwhip Griffin, man. He was good.
Griffin. That's what I mean. That's the kind of stuff that you come to the cinemas for. This is what you bring your corn kernels. You watch Michael and his mate Bullwhip.
So give people some context on. I mean, there's this girls group. They go to the picnic. They go to Hanging Rock. What was it? 4 of them.
So four of the girls go up. They say, "Hey, we're going to do some measurements."
Yes.
And look, the teacher goes, yeah, do some measurements. But I ain't seen no tape measure. I ain't seen no, equipment.
They're doing it by eye.
And if you're measuring by eye, you're not measuring. No. That's not a measurement. And they go up there. 3 of them go up to, this certain point past, the rock up to the top. One of them stays. She's saying, I'm tired. I got to go home.
I'm sick. I'm so sick. You hear that for about 15 minutes.
Yeah, no, that's...
that's just Australian drama.
That's Australian drama.
Yeah.
I mean, they're in the heat.
They're in the heat and they're not, they got corsets on. They're wearing stuff that doesn't look breathable.
Nah, it's not breathable.
Although,
that's probably natural fibers.
At that stage, that's natural fibers.
Because that's 1900's very own.
Because it's 1901, is that correct?
1900.
It's 1900.
We're talking day dot.
On Valentine's Day. It's the day of St. Valentine.
Yeah, we're talking like wire 1.9K.
Now, they do have one piece of food. It is the cake, the Valentine's Day cake.
Yeah.
I think that's the extent, and there's like 16 people there.
Yeah.
So this is what I'm saying. Like you talk about a picnic. I'm not coming to that picnic, man. Unless I'm bringing some food.
That's right. Unless you're the caterer.
Because you ethnic like us, you bring a lamb.
Well, you bring a lamb. I won't bring a lamb. I'll bring like a lasagna.
That's right. You bring.
I'll bring
lasagna.
a pasta fasul.
You bring a pasta fasul. And you put a couple pasta fasul eating individuals in this movie. No one's dying, man.
No one's dying.
Because they're like, where you going?
No, you can't move after that.
We haven't finished the pasta fasul yet. And then once you finish the pasta fasul, the cannolis, the baklava, the garlic, the burrito, it all comes out, man. You're not moving. You got to go for a hike after that.
Jeez, bro, the Catalogue, like you're not going for a hike after that. There's no way,
dude. I mean, it will keep you there, you know, for the event, but also for the aftermath. It will keep you there.
That's right.
So yes, they go up. Obviously, the
three
lady
of them disappear. They're gone.
And the maths teacher, because she's like, I'm gonna look for these people.
She goes after. So the lady that's whining, well, the lady, I say lady, the child, the kid that's whining.
They're all kids. They're in there.
She's running back. She just starts yelling. She just starts yelling, which I thought was interesting because you know you just see nothing. They just go past this spot, and then she just starts yelling and legs it.
You see them walking into like almost like a crack within the within two rock faces, and then she's yelling, and they're looking like they're not that worried about where they're walking to.
They say something about, you know, look at those people down there. Do they even know that like they have no purpose?
They're like ants down there.
Which, you know, that's something that I'll think on the daily if I'm up on a high spot. So I appreciate that.
Yeah.
The other lady, the other girl, she runs down. Then that's essentially it for that scene.
That scene.
Then we're back. We hear that one of the teachers, she goes and she lost her pants and she's gone.
Yeah, dude, you're walking out there, no pants on.
No pants. That's
and
the only thing.
People like this, no. People saying this, no, I can't believe this. Because in those days, you ain't walking around with your pants on.
No, that's right.
Like even Jackie Weaver, like Australia's very own Jackie Weaver, like she's in a bedroom with a male, which like is appropriate for a person her age, and she's telling people, hey, we got to keep this on the down low because that's the sort of time that we're in. That's just to give an indication as to why you're not walking around with your pants off.
Yeah,
especially out in the open. You know, you're in the confines of your house, back in Apple Yard, you're okay.
So anyway, that's the movie.
That's the movie. You know, there's two men who are there at the same time. They're doing like, you know, they're just about doing fishing things. They're looking at them, and you know, there's the idea that one of them may have done it and they felt guilty, and that's why they've gone back to Hanging Rock to go save them.
I don't think that was ever a...
I mean, you could just put, I'm just trying to pick out themes here.
Yeah, you picked out the wrong thing.
One of the funniest bits is, so Michael, this guy that looks like Bullwhip Griffin and his Australian mate, Michael himself is feeling upset about the fact that no one's out there looking for these girls and that he could do a better job.
Well, they looked, they just couldn't find them.
They couldn't find them.
Which is hilarious because... I mean, you know, you see later in the movie, Michael goes, you know, past a certain point on the rock. And look, it's a big rock, but it's not that big.
I mean,
we're not talking Everest.
No, it's not taking you but an hour to get up the top.
No. And so he quite literally goes, you know, maybe 5-10 meters further up the rock than all the other heads, and he finds one of the girls.
Now, this is the Australian man. Michael himself, he gets put into some sort of portal, comes out, he's all cut up.
No, he finds her because he's got the part of her.
So he finds the little thing. So you're talking about me, I haven't watched the movie. Then my Australian brother comes up next. I'm telling you, man.
Listen to me. Michael is there. He's got the piece of the dress.
That's right.
Yeah, he gives it to his mate.
And then his mate goes, hey, I found her.
But how's he going to get the dress?
He might have found out. He went into the portal.
He found the lady.
He went into the portal.
He couldn't come back.
He went into the portal.
He went into the portal.
That's what I'm thinking.
I mean, you've seen more of this movie than me, so
that's exactly right.
Went into the portal.
So the funniest thing is when they're, you know, and we'll go back to the ethnic people, but when they're going, you know, they're doing cooees, right? You know, and that's an Australian thing. Cooee, right? You're yelling cooee out to people. Like if you hear a cooee and you don't say cooee back, like, are you even Australian? Is what I'm saying. You put a couple of ethnic people in this movie, you hear walios like across the plains. You know,
that'll open up portals.
They're playing the Taladella like out loud because you hear that, you dance.
They're doing Zorbas around the whole.
That's
the
exactly
whole Hanging Rock.
One of the funniest things is they take some, like the police officers, they go out there, they're doing the investigation. There's a man dressed as a pirate. Like I could have sworn there's a full man dressed as a pirate.
That was the thing I was looking at. I was going, I don't know. Is this era appropriate? What's going on here?
Like who is this? Because there's no other pirates. There's just this one man looking like Peg Leg McGee.
And I don't think they're near. I mean, I don't know where Hanging Rock is. It's a place.
I mean,
it's a. I'm going to Google it right now.
It is a place in Victoria.
I'm going to get it on the maps.
I don't think it's.
I'm going to look up Hanging Rock, and if it's landlocked,
I think Hanging Rock would be landlocked.
dude, if Hanging Rock's not landlocked,
You're saying you think they might have got like maybe they got
brother, Hanging Rock is landlocked. I'm talking. That's no.
like pirates would have had to make their way from somewhere else to get there.
He's rolling his boat on like desert, like through shrubs.
There must be a better way. He's a pirate, and that's funny in this movie. You know, beyond that, like a lady jumps off of Apple Yard, like.
Yeah, because they were telling her to leave. She had to go back to the orphanage.
Now, here's the thing. There are themes in this movie that are important to talk about. You know, there's themes of femininity, if that's the word. There's themes of exploration of experiences, and especially back in this era, things that females were not able to do. Which
Can't take your gloves off until after you get past the town.
That's right. You can't, why are you walking around with your socks off? Why have you got your socks off? These are themes that we are not going to get into in too much depth.
I'm going to get into them because I'm going to give you the answers.
Give me the answer.
you want me to give you the answers?
Give me the
right
answer.
now?
Yeah.
I mean, essentially from the rest of the movie, if I'm talking about the rest of the movie, that's basically it.
That's this damn movie. And here's the thing: one of your mates recommended this. I'm gonna go find that person because I know where they work. Because you've told me where they work. We've talked about it, and I'm gonna go there. And I'm gonna be like, I don't know who it is in here. I'm going through 3 Halloween movies, right? And I get to Picnic at Hanging Rock. I'm thinking, here we go. We're back in Ozploitation. We're back in the era. This is the prime era for Ozploitation.
I mean, you've just been exploited, is what
I've
you're telling
been
me.
exploited, man.
Yeah.
This is considered one of the best movies.
But
they had Waking Fright number 6. They have this number 1.
That's what I'm thinking. So, I was expecting more from this movie as well. I was expecting more. And I understand, you got the themes, you got to, it's intriguing, but it's intriguing to a point, and then you go, you're giving me nothing for the whole movie.
The intrigue loses itself once they go through that rock.
Because there's stuff about, they can't find, no one knows what they did, and then they find one of them, they don't find the other, and there's weird things happening and whatever, but it's just whatever. You're watching it and you're going, well, okay, this is fantastic that it's all happening, but you're not giving me anything to latch onto here.
Yeah, and as a Spooktober movie, did it spook? Did it spook?
But I mean, I watched the last 3 Halloweens. There was no spooks.
There was not really any spooks in that either. And you know what's the sad thing? I'm going through, I was going through IMDb last night. You go to Picnic at Hanging Rock, you touch Peter Weir, you go elsewhere, right? So you're going to all these different spaces. I ended up finding a movie called Halloween. And it's just like, what if people were high, but there was also like horrific things and horror stuff.
It was Michael Myers, but everyone was high.
Everyone was high. And I was like thinking, dude, that should have been this movie that we did. But we did Picnic at Hanging Rock. And like for a lot of people, this is obviously their favourite Australian movie. And for a lot of people, this is their favourite Australian book.
And for a lot of people, they are wrong. Because it shouldn't be their favourite.
And you know what? I agree with you, Vincent. And I know that life is subjective, but here we look at the objective facts. We're fact checkers.
We're fact checkers. We're coming here saying if Picnic at Hanging Rock is your favourite movie, maybe it's time to look, have a bit of introspection.
Yeah. And maybe that's what this movie will do for you. Maybe it will make you think about yourself.
Because I don't normally look at, hey, what is this? What does it all mean? Because I was looking at it, I'm going, this is a movie that they want you to go, hey, what does this mean? Because it's very purposefully. Peter Weir did Truman Show. I've seen Truman Show. The viewer, the listener, whatever, if you've seen Truman Show, it's similar.
I mean, if you've been to Australian school, you've seen Truman Show.
If you've been to Australian school, you've seen Truman Show.
Because there's themes in that.
There's themes, but they give you something.
True man. He's the true man.
He's a true man.
You know what I mean?
He's a true man.
Like he's the truest of men.
I go to the gym. I've got a picture of Jim Carrey from the Truman Show. There, I'm going. He's a true man. I gotta look like him.
That's exactly right.
But my hair don't go that way.
I mean, that's the issue. Like we got that ethnicity in us. My hair goes one way, your hair goes the other.
Yeah.
My hair, where it's gone, it's just gone.
It's just
I can't find it. I lost it. It's like it's gone to Hanging Rock. My hair went there.
Hair went to Hanging Rock. There's a whole search party there. No one knows.
Brother, I went to Hanging Rock and you were like, I'm sick. I can't go on any further. And then I'm like, I'm going to go through this rock. I came out looking like this. And we're like, where did it go?
You came out with the full head. You went there with the full head of the hair down to like your ankles.
I was down to my ankles. I was looking prim. I was looking proper. I was looking like Miss Lambert.
Miss Lambert.
Yeah. And shout out to these people. You know, Jackie Weaver made a big name for herself in Australian film, and she's been in many films to date. I don't really recognise many of the other actors, but I all think they played their role well.
But yeah, so anyway, I looked up what this movie was, what's it all about, because it felt like it was, hey, there's something here that you got to start asking questions. Whereas Truman Show is a bit, we're giving you a movie, and if you think about it more, there's questions. Whereas this is like, hey, look at me, I'm being mysterious.
And I mean, Truman Show isn't really as deep as like, you can think about it, but really a lot of the things are quite overt in what they present to you. Like at the end, he goes like this, and he goes to take a bow, and he like does the Jesus sign. It's like, okay, right. I'm seeing what's going on.
You're seeing what's going on, but
what's that man's name? Like the creator or something?
Yeah, he's meant to be God or whatever.
He's meant to be God.
His name backwards is his name's Dog. His name's Mad Dog, and Mad Dog backwards is goddamn. And Peter Weir thought of that, and then he just patted himself on the back.
And Peter Weir's got a YouTube account apparently, because he's been commenting on our videos.
Peter Weir,
yeah, he's Mad Dog. Yeah, so
I looked up what this thing, and essentially it was basically what you were saying. It was very, these girls, they're going to this Appleyard Academy or whatever to be proper women in the 1900.
Yeah,
the year 1900, and they're toying with the idea of they're removing their stockings, they're removing their gloves, so it's like, hey, the forbidden fruit of what adulthood or whatever, that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
and the whole thing was it's the question. The viewer never gets to understand the question. He just leaves it. Everything's just out of sight, and someone knows more than you. But I don't care if someone knows more than you. If there's not something there that I want to know,
yeah.
I could give two FFs.
Like at least Truman Show had that scene where he like driving down the road, then he comes back down the road again, and everyone's doing the same thing. You know what I mean? Like I enjoyed that part away from the
That's what I mean. This movie felt like I don't care what happened to these girls.
No, well, because
it didn't feel it. It felt too much like, you want to know what happened to these girls. No. I'll tell you if I want to know what happened to these girls.
I just want a good movie around what happened to these girls.
That's right. You don't give me Michael here with Steamboat Willie, with Bullwhip Griffin. I don't want him there.
I'm considering Michael to be good Bullwhip Griffin.
I know.
Because he looks more like a Bullwhip Griffin.
He looks like Bullwhip Griffin.
I mean, you've had Bullwhip Griffin come out at least 10 years before this movie, and you're telling me you can't make a good movie in 1975?
I mean, people will tell you this is a good movie. And I'm here telling you that it's a... I'd say mid to below. I wouldn't watch it. I wouldn't watch it again, and I wouldn't recommend it to anyone.
It can't be above a 5.
That's what I mean. I'm not going to someone, hey, you should, this is an interesting movie to watch.
But here's the thing. Now I'm speaking to you as a male.
To me.
Do you respect women? Because this is where you got to go here. Because if you don't like this movie, you don't like them. I'm sorry. That's just the facts that I read. Because I'm a fact checker, but I'm also a fact searcher, and I searched up the facts.
I obviously don't like women.
That's it. We've said it here first on this podcast.
So that's the answer to this movie. All right, you get to the end of the movie, you like it, you don't like women. Sorry, you like it, you like women. You don't like it, you don't like women.
So what we're saying is we like this movie and we like women, and we like old people is what we're trying to say. We're just saying that you put the cast of The Sopranos in here, it's a different movie, and by far it's a better movie. You put the cast of The Sopranos.
Jeez.
They have Gabagool like out the wazoo at the bottom. And even if The Sopranos characters go through the portal, they'd make a movie in which you're seeing them at the next steps. And they're like, whoa, Walio. And they're just like, there's clocks flying around.
See, I don't think there needs to be a resolution to this movie. I'm very content with, and I'm going to talk about this in the Patreon, the Patreon episode of this podcast, because, we do that here, 7 days free trial. You can sign up, you can get your money's worth. You cannot get your money's worth.
That's right.
And there's movies and shows that I've watched that either they end because they're not renewed or whatever, or they end by design that there's questions left unanswered. And I think that's really good.
Yes.
Because I think movies that try to answer all the questions end up being worse for it. But this movie just felt like, I don't want to know the questions. I don't want to know the answers to the questions because I'm not asking the questions.
That's right. It was unresolved, but the issue is I didn't care.
The main thing for me, and I've said the main thing 5 times now. So
but this is the main thing.
This is the main thing.
This is the main event.
I've said it
of the evening.
The main event. This is the card.
This is the card.
This is the match card. This is
Islam versus Volk.
This
and
is like
number
DV
2 will make you
perpetrator
cry.
number 1 versus DV perpetrator number 2. And I'm telling you right now, I've forgotten what I said. I've forgotten what I was going to say. And that's the main thing about this movie.
Let's give this a rating right here, right now.
That's a 3.5, 4.
Yeah, I'm gonna straight up say this is a 3. This is a 3.
Yeah.
Hey, look, the first part of this movie, absolute hitters, man. Like,
Yeah, because
I've
it was
said
interesting.
Yeah.
But then nothing.
But then nothing. And I think that's to do with the fact that Miss Lambert, she was just rolling and running this movie from the start, and then she's gone. You know, and you potentially hear her voice at one point.
Do you?
You know, there's voices in the background.
Nah. The main thing about this movie, because I know you're about to end this, but I'll end it before you because I remembered, is that how have I forgotten this again?
I feel sick. And this has been the back catalogue.
Talk soon.